November 8th, 1923, the Bavarian Prime Minister Gustav Ritter von Kahr was addressing a speech to businessmen in a beer hall in Munich.
And then out of nowhere, Hitler burst into the room with 600 troops and then declared, "The National Revolution has begun!"
But before we dive into the event of the Beer Hall Putsch, let's explore the prior events that led to it.
After World War I, Germany was facing some political and economic crises through factors of hyperinflation, resentment to the Treaty of Versailles, and a weak Weimar government.
Adolf Hitler, the leader of the Nazi Party, believed this to be the perfect moment to initiate his plans and seize power.
Taking inspiration from Mussolini's March on Rome in 1922, Hitler wanted to overthrow the Bavarian government in Munich and then march on Berlin.
But in order to do this, Hitler needed support from influential Bavarian leaders, men like Gustav von Kahr, General von Lossow, and Colonel von Caesar. These men, however, were hesitant, choosing caution over action.
So, on the evening of November 8th, 1923, Hitler decided he could wait no longer. With 600 SA troops behind him, he stormed Burger Brockella Beer Hall in Munich, where von Kahr was giving a speech, and declared, "The National Revolution has begun!"
Hitler took von Kahr and the Bavarian army officer, Otto von Lafo, into a side room and held them at gunpoint. Hitler also ordered his troops to terrorize the members of the Bavarian government around the city. What a terrible sight.
Now, back in the beer hall, Hitler was getting desperate for the two ministers to agree to his pact, and threatened to shoot both of them and himself if they did not. Eventually, this worked, and the two ministers reluctantly agreed and were forced to announce their support for Hitler.
However, after this interaction, Hitler stupidly let Kahr's and Lafo free and remained with Ludendorff to plan a coup. This led to Kahr's tipping the government of Hitler's plans.
Next morning, Hitler proceeded with his plans to lead 2,000 men to a military base in the center of Munich.
On the morning of November 9th, 1923, Hitler and General Ludendorff led nearly 2,000 men through the streets of Munich. They carried Nazi flags, sang patriotic songs, and tried to project strength to the public.
But as they reached the audience spots, they came face to face with armed police blocking their path.
Comrades, forward! For Germany! For the fatherland!
The standoff was tense. For a moment, it seemed as if neither side would fire, and then shots erupted through the square.
Chaos broke out. 16 Nazis and 4 police officers were killed. Hitler himself was thrown to the ground in a panic, dislocating his shoulder, while Ludendorff marched forward and was arrested.
The failed coup could have ended Hitler's career, but instead, it gave him the national attention he craved. His trial was widely covered, and he used it as a stage to spread his message across Germany.
Though sentenced to 5 years in prison, Hitler only served 9 months. In that time, he wrote Mein Kampf, a book that outlined his radical ideology and vision for Germany's future.
Today we are defeated, but tomorrow we will rise again!
While the Beer Hall Putsch was a disaster militarily, it was a success politically. It transformed Hitler from a fringe agitator into a national figure.
What began with gunfire in the Munich Beer Hall became the first step in Adolf Hitler's long and devastating rise to power.